Hi, how you doing? It's Roger Burrows here from the Source My Property Academy. And what I'm going to cover in this video is how to understand money left in the deal and how long it can take to recuperate that money out from a buy-to-let property. You'll hear that phrase quite often when you're in property sourcing. Investors will work to certain risk models, and one of those will be how long they want their money to be tied up in a deal for. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to teach you a very simple way to be able to say an investor says to you, I want my money to be out within 3 years, all my money out in 3 years, to be able to how to work out what your maximum offer can be on a property to be able to ensure you are underneath that risk model and therefore obviously greatly increasing the odds of you sourcing on the deal. So what I'm going to cover this evening is three things. I'm going to cover very quickly how to work out your money in, money out offer. That's the first thing you need to do. Money in, money out means that if you buy a property, you refurbish that property, you fix it up, you then go back to the bank and you revalue the property at a new value, and the bank loans you money based on the new value of the property, that you basically recuperated your entire investment. So money in, money out. So that's where that comes from. That's the first thing we need to understand. And then I'm going to base my teaching the model of all of your money out within 3 years. So we're going to work out what our money in, money out offer would be, and then we're going to work out what our maximum offer would be based on getting your money back out in 3 years. So after we've done that, what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to work out our annual cash flow. Your annual cash flow is how much profit you're going to make every year after all of your expenses are paid. And then what we're going to be doing pretty simply is take the annual cash flow and multiply it by 3 to give you how much money is going to be left in the deal over 3 years, and then you'll know how much you're able to increase your offer by. So I've drawn it all out on a board ready to show you. So hopefully this adds great value to you, be able to work out how much money you can leave in the deal and how long that's going to take to recuperate. Okay, so here I've got my board and I've already pre-written out what I'm going to take you guys over, and that's working out our money in, money out offer. I'm going to breeze through this pretty quick over here because you can jump on Source My Property YouTube channel where I have a very detailed video of how to work out your money in, money out offers, which you can spend a lot of time going back and forth over to get nailed down. But now I'm going to run through this pretty quickly. Okay, so first thing we're doing, we're starting with the end in mind. After I had bought this property, refurbished it, and gone back to the bank, it's going to be worth £100,000. That is called my DUV, my done up value. I then, to work out my money in, money out offer on a buy-to-let property, need to work it out based off a 75% loan to value. So that's what I do first. 75% of £100,000 is £75,000. The next thing I do is I take across my £75,000 and I start deducting my costs. I deduct £2,000 for legals. I deduct running costs of £1,500. These are things like your gas bill, your council tax, your water bill, and so on. I then deduct a source fee of £2,000. A good property sourcer always includes his source fee within the figures. And then I deduct my stamp duty of £1,500. And then I deduct my refurbishment costs of £25,000. So here, what you can see is my total costs of this deal are £27,000. What I then do is very simply, £75,000 minus £27,000 gives me £48,000. Now, that means that if I secured this property that I'm looking at for £48,000 and I keep my costs to these costs that I'm predicting here, and at the end of my refurbishment, the property values at £100,000, that means the bank is going to loan me £75,000, which means that this is going to be a MIMO offer for me. It means that if I secure the property at that price and it revalues, I'm going to get a loan back from the bank of £75,000. I'm going to put all my money in, and when it revalues, I'm going to pull all my money back out. So that's the first thing we needed to work out, okay? Our MIMO offer, £48,000. Now let me flip the board around. Okay, so what we need to work out next is our annual cash flow. And the first thing we need to do to be able to do that is work out what our mortgage costs are, right? So how do you work out your mortgage costs? Very simply, we know that value is £100,000. The bank is going to loan us 75% of that. The bank's going to loan us £75,000. Now, the average interest rate for a limited company is 3.5%. So that's what we're going to calculate our mortgage costs on. Okay, 3.5% of £75,000 is £2,625 per year. That's how much interest we're going to pay on a £75,000 loan per year based at 3.5%. I then very simply divide it by 12 months, right? Which gives me £218.75 is my monthly mortgage costs. So that's what we needed to work out first. Next thing we want to do is we want to work out how much profit we are now going to make each month. So that's called your cash flow, right? We know the property will rent for £550 for argument's sake. Now what I do of that is I start deducting my 3 M's, which is I like to call them. The first M that I deduct is my MO, which is my management and operational expenses. These are things like a boiler service, an electrician call out, my property insurance, kind of little expenses that crop up. What we do is we take 10% and put it into a different account each month to be able to pay for these things so we never feel them in our cash flow. The next M that we deduct is our management costs. This is 10%, which is paid to our estate agents, which look after our tenants and manage our property for us. There's £55. And then we deduct the final M, our mortgage costs, which we've just worked out, right? So we deduct £218.75. So £550 a month rent, deducting our 3 M's, gives us a monthly cash flow of £221.25. That is how much money we're going to make each month in pure profit. All expenses are paid. That is called our cash flow, our residual income. Then, now I need to work that out by annually. How much is that going to cost me per year? So our annual cash flow, our annual profit, times by 12 is £2,655. That is how much profit we're going to make each year. Now, I know, okay, that my money in, money out offer is £48,000. And I also know that each year my cash flow is going to be £2,655. So I know that if I increase my offer of £48,000 by £2,655, that it's going to leave money tied up for 1 year. So say my investor said to me that their risk model is to leave their money in for 3 years. That's the maximum amount of time they want for all their money to be recuperated. Then I take my annual cash flow, which is £2,655, multiply it by 3 for 3 years, gives me £7,965. Now, that's simple maths, right? If I take my MIMO offer and I increase it by £7,965, that is the maximum offer I'm going to be able to make on that property to be able to keep it under the risk model for that particular client. So there you have it. Hopefully that was really useful to you to be able to work out how much you can increase your offers by to be underneath the risk model for a particular client. So to round it up, the client says to you, my risk model is 4 years to all my money out. You know, you just have to work out your MIMO offer. You have to work out your annual cash flow times your annual cash flow by 4, and add that to your MIMO offer, which will then give you the maximum offer you can go to ensure you're underneath the risk model for that client. Remember, this is a quick way to be able to do this. Once you actually secure the property at a particular price, you then need to go back and do the very detailed figures. That means working out exactly what your cash flow is based on the offer you've got. That means working out your exact stamp duty based on the offer you've got. So this is just the way to work out a nice, quick and easy way so you can increase your offers with your estate agent without having to do the most intricate of numbers. But then once you've got an offer secured at an exact figure, you can go down and nail down it to the very, very penny. Hopefully that's useful to you. Remember, you can jump on Source My Property YouTube channel where I've got a lot more intricate numbers videos to help you practice those again and again and again. Cheers. See you later.